To bring him on. He was on yesterday, but there's been a rapidly evolving development with this issue of the emergency double pay from the Guam Federation of Teachers. He's a field rep, Robert Koss. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Sabrina. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. So, yeah, I think right before the newscast we got this little tidbit
you could have told us yesterday morning.
Yeah, $1.62.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you saw that, obviously.
Not a lot of money.
How did you guys go from yesterday when, you had some very strong words for the administration and also the Attorney General. How do we go from that conversation we had yesterday to, you know what, we are going to sue? Who wants to jump on this lawsuit?
Give us a call.
Well, I think from our perspective, we're looking for resolution, whatever manner it takes. Lawsuits require some preparation, so we had to get the ball rolling on that. But we're not opposed to working with the governor or working with the legislature to find other solutions. We offered, if there's no money, since these people were denied leave and time with their family, give them back leave and time with their family. That's a reasonable solution that doesn't require $36 million. So, we are pursuing these lawsuits because we have to on behalf of our members. But again, we're not opposed to other solutions. And we'll continue to work with that. If there's a senator that wants to meet and discuss, more than happy to do that.
So you're the employees you represent would be totally fine with, let's just give it to us and leave.
I don't know if they'd be totally fine, but the way it is written, if management's unable to pay overtime, and this is classified in the rules as that 8.4 or whatever it is, as overtime. If management can't pay overtime, the CTO stuff, is there, and as an alternative. So, it's in accordance with the laws and rules. One of the things that the union cannot do is waive overtime for employees. That's the law itself states the union cannot waive overtime. So we can't just disregard it.
Is this are you accepting people who are not GFT union members, or is this strictly for GFT union members?
We really want to help all the COVID heroes. You don't have to be a GFT member to be a hero. So, we want to help everybody. I know that I received texts from GPD, how can this help GPD? And again, I would assert that the interpretation from DOA is not correct, and that GPD is included just like all other agencies are. Regardless of membership, Monday, give the union a call or come down, whatever. Simple one-page document that gives us your contact info, and it says that you are authorizing our attorneys to represent you. They have to have that in order to include you and proceed. We must have permission.
Robert, is there any thought being given to maybe have you guys mailed this form out to your members, since people are kind of still staying home and doing the whole social distancing thing?
Right. We are going to be able to send it out by email. We can even send it WhatsApp, any way that you want to do it. But at the end of the day, it's got to have your signature on it. So I'm going to need something with a signature on it. So you're going to have to print, sign it, and then send it back again. But yeah, we'll do whatever we have to. If I have a courier and I have to send them to your house, I prefer not to, because there are 12,000 public employees. We go out of our way to try to accommodate people who have no other options.
Robert, it's no secret that this has been a big conversation, and we've heard from Adelup on it and from DOA Director Ed Byrne, but have you heard from Adelup or any representative from the governor's office regarding this issue?
I have not heard from anybody representing the governor, but I have heard from a number of directors who fully support what we're doing and agree with us. So, it's interesting that not, all of her cabinet is on the same page. But they will not act, and they ask not to be disclosed. Give us a good cheer to keep on fighting the good fight.
And again, this is not specifically for those who aren't getting paid double pay. Is that what you said? It's also for people that aren't getting paid their overtime.
Yeah, well, double pay is actually listed in a section called overtime, and technically it is. I guess the government has labeled it as a form of overtime. However, yeah, we're finding out more and more. Public health has not been paying their for overtime beyond 40 hours in a week, so we're going to have to include that. We know that Department of Corrections, again, 7 pay periods behind in their overtime. They haven't been paying that. I imagine we're going to find this in other agencies as well. So, at this point, probably every form of leave. Are they getting their night differential? Are they getting their overtime? Are they getting their emergency pay or their double pay? All the different forms. We probably list them all and say, pay everything you owe.
Mm-hmm. 7 pay periods behind at the Department of Corrections. I remember the GFT had filed something prior. I think it was it USDOL for what was happening at DOC, and wasn't overtime one of the issues?
Yeah, overtime is just a regular reoccurring thing. Not just with DOC, all agencies. They seem to wait until it builds up and to the point where it's almost unmanageable, and
right.
And then until they get sued, So probably every 8 weeks we got to go back and sue DOC for overtime.
Go to the doctor early, guys. Take care of it early, or it festers into like you said, an unmanageable problem.
Right. So there's all we can do at GFT is follow the law, right? Enforce the law, and they're the laws. These are the rules that the government operates by. So people think we're radical. Well, we're following the law. Okay, so I get a lot of criticisms that we're out there. I don't know. We're a bunch of radical people taking radical actions, and I don't think that's good at all. Mm-hmm. We are a nation of laws, and if we don't follow them, we're going to have chaos.
Yeah.
So
everybody needs to follow them.
So you're asking people, these COVID heroes, GovOne employees, to call starting Monday. What's the window that you're allowing and accepting these phone calls before you guys actually file something?
Right. So the window is how long it takes the attorney to figure out all the intricacies about how to go about pursuing the action and preparing the documents for that purpose. And at some point they're going to shut me down and say, okay, we're not taking any more. I don't know when that's going to be. It's not going to be on Monday. It probably won't be next week. So, these, I would think that they probably should be within 2 weeks of the PCOR 2. So I would say within 2 weeks of Monday, if you want to get involved, you better do it in that time window. I suspect that'll be enough time.
We had a question here. This compensatory time off, does it have to be agreed upon prior to being called in? And does it have to also be agreed upon prior by both parties?
Yeah, and I'm not encouraging anybody to go with the comp time. I want to go with annual leave, and that's why I want the legislature to get involved. Reason being is because comp time has to be used within 4 pay periods of what is accrued.
Right.
Oh. And there's so many individuals. I mean, how is all of GPD going to use 2 months of leave within 4 pay periods? I mean, they're going to have to shut down GPD. That's not going to be fair to the employees, and that's a use it or lose it scenario. Or actually, the government would have to pay it. Then they'd have their $36 million. If it can't be used in 4 pay periods, pay it out. We're right back to where we started. Mm-hmm. Annual leave can be used throughout an employee's career at any time,
right?
And it can also apply towards maybe an early retirement. So there might be some who are really looking at the annual leave as a desirable thing. That is not an offer from the government yet as a remedy, and I'm sure I would encourage an opt-in or opt-out provision so that those who want to continue to fight for cash would have that option, because it's not a solution for everyone.
I just wanted something just to be clarified regarding the double pay. Is that for classified employees and unclassified employees, or it doesn't matter?
Yeah, that's why I hire lawyers.
Okay.
But I believe the governor said that, well, I don't know. I'm going to just leave it to the lawyers. I don't want to build up anybody's hopes in the unclassified employment.
So hey,
I just didn't know if, like, with the Department of Administration rules and regs, that does it cover unclassified and classified?
Why do we even have unclassified? Doesn't the law say that all jobs are classified to the extent practicable, or to the extent possible, right? And it's possible.
I sent your little flyer over to the acting chief of staff for the governor, John Jr. Calvo, and I asked any comment, and his response is, communications will issue a statement. We are tracking this. I hope so.
What does that mean?
It's a fancy way. These guys at Adelup, they like to say things like, we're tracking this because they've seen it on, maybe nationally it's a power word, Robert. We are tracking that. We've got eyes on it.
I've always thought pretty highly of John, so I'm going to assume the best because it does have a threatening tone to it, but I'm going to assume that's not what he meant.
Right. It just means that they're not doing anything, but they're paying attention, I think.
Yeah. When we track it, we get a folder and we start grabbing every document and reference and sticking it in there, building a big fat file. That's tracking.
Right. I think in this case it means they haven't written anything yet. Somebody's writing something. We don't have anything right now. I'll get back to you. Yeah. All right, Robert. What about retaliation? We had spoke with a Department of Education employee earlier. I don't know if you heard the call, but she was just so upset. She got the COVID differential pay, which isn't going to be retroactive back to when the public health emergency started. And the way it broke down, she's only making an extra $1.52 an hour.
Which is what I've been saying all along. It's just not an adequate reward for the heroes who, had to go out and work, spend time away from their families while the rest of us were allowed to stay home and enjoy our families. And that's why I want to get her that, that opportunity to stay home now and be with her family while the rest of us go to work.
Right.
And so I think that'd be nice. I don't think there's going to be retaliation in DOE. I know John Fernandez, and he doesn't have a retaliatory bone in his body.
Right.
He wants that agency to operate as smoothly and efficiently as possible. That's his sole purpose in life.
Okay.
What about outside of DOE? Are people scared to put their names on this thing? Well, yeah, they may be. I would say that there's no reason for that. This list is going to be given to the attorneys, and it's going to be filed in the court. Once it's filed in the court, I would assume that the judge would not take kindly to retaliatory acts against the case before her. Yeah, sure. Even jurors, I suppose, fear that there might be some kind of retaliation from drug lords or something.
Right. Yeah. How many people have called Robert and jumped and expressed interest in jumping onto this thing since you put it out yesterday afternoon?
Well, it's not just phone calls. We have, the technology at hand too. So, the cell phones, text messaging, WhatsApp, websites.
So, was it blowing up?
Well, but I'm encouraging people not to do that. Wait till Monday, so that when you do call, it'll be a meaningful call, and I can say, okay, here's the form. How can I get it to you? And how are you going to get it back to me, right? So
what you're getting is it a lot of like, way to go, yeah, we support this. Oh, it's about time. That kind of stuff.
Can I join? How's this going to benefit me? Lots of different stuff.
Right.
There's a few people out there patting our backs, but mostly everybody wants in.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry.
All right.
No, choice of words.
Yeah, and that was funny. Okay, Robert, anything in closing you want to add here before we get on to the next?
No, I just want to point out that, you and Sabrina have been working really hard too. What, you've been doing 12-hour days during the COVID or more? So, I think I'd like to say a big thank you to you guys. and we'll be asking KUAM to give you double pay as well.
Oh, nice. Good. Okay, good. I hope our bosses didn't hear that. The show is going to get a lot shorter.
At least $1.62.
Hey, you know, hey. I don't want to accept a penny more than that lady at DOE's getting.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, Robert, thank you.
Wait. I wanted to ask, are directors and deputy directors eligible for double pay?
Seems to me the deputies and deputy directors are very close to Lou and are eligible for anything she wants to give them.
Okay.
Right on.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Robert.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care.
Yeah, I wonder if
care.
Adelup tracked what you just said there.
Well, I think she knows very well.
There's that troublemaker
man.
union guy.
Woo!
Robert Koss, 741. Yeah, we're definitely going to continue this conversation, but I wanted to switch gears a little bit. You know, one of the bigger conversations is reopening the island on Monday in baby steps. And we have from the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce